We are live now. Over to you, Aline.
Hello, welcome to a talk on the MAs in politics at the University of York. My name is Dr. Simona Davidescu. I'm a lecturer in public policy at the University of York in the Department of Politics. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about our range of MA programs. We're going to cover why study here at York and why in politics. And also a little bit about the requirements related to the course. So we have a range of MA programs in the Department of Politics. I'm going to cover the whole range, and then I'm going to focus on a few just as examples, but feel free to ask afterwards questions about any particular program. We have a range of MA programs in the Department of Politics that cater to our strengths, so they are linked specifically to our range of expertise. In the case of international politics and international relations, we offer a range of programs that are very clearly linked to our research strengths. We are a research teaching university. We offer MAs in conflict, governance and development, in international political economy, in international relations. And for these particular programs, we have a specific program leader. Each of our MA components would have a dedicated member of staff that would answer questions and would guide students through the program. For these MAs, the program leader is Dr. Dimitrios Stoikos. These are linked also to our research interests. So Dr. Dimitrios Stoikos is working on IR topics related to space policy, for example. We've just started a new MA in peace and conflict studies. And the program leader for that is Dr. Alejandro Peña. And I'm going to talk a little bit about this since it's a new program. All our programs are taught MAs. We usually have a range of core and optional modules for these programs. And I'm going to give you an example in the case of the MA in peace and conflict studies, how this is set up. We teach over the autumn and spring terms in the year, and most of our programs would have a combination of core modules and optionals. In terms of the course for the MA in peace and conflict studies, we have a range of modules which cater specifically to the main aim of this program, which is to introduce students to war and conflict as concepts, and also to learn about peace. So our core modules are designed to do that, to introduce you to the theoretical context, with modules on the causes and conduct of conflict and politics of peace building in the spring term. And then all of our modules, or all of our programs would have optional modules included. For this particular program, we have a variety of pathways, some of which include more practical approaches. So you could do a module on the practice of field work and do field work as part of this program. Our field work at the moment has been conducted in either South Africa. In the past, we've also done field work in Kosovo. It could be done in the UK. And at the end of the program, over the summer term and in the summer break, students will engage in writing a dissertation or a policy report. In the case of this program in particular, if you are choosing the pathway which include practical experience, the practice of fieldwork, you could choose also to do a policy report, which includes a placement, a work placement. So this MA offers a variety of options, if you like, within its pathways. We also have a range of MA programs in public policy that tend to be very popular, particularly for students coming from Asia, and a variety of programs which are delivered both in-house within the Department of Politics, but also jointly with other departments. So we have an MA in Public Administration and Public Policy, a master's in public administration or MPA, and an MPA in international developments. So we cater to slightly different audiences with this one, and our cohorts for these programs are slightly different. Generally with students that come both from a policy background or prior work experience, as well as students that come straight after their first degree. I am the program leader for these programs, and I've been involved in the delivery of these programs, not just as program leader, which means that I have a pastoral role, but also as teaching staff. So I'm teaching on some of the core modules of these programs. And then we also have an MA in Public Policy, which is jointly delivered through the MapMundus program, which is an Erasmus-funded program with other universities. So students on this program take 1 year with us and 1 year with our partner universities across Europe, such as Central European University in Vienna or IB in Barcelona. So that program is led by Dr. Jeremy Moulton. And just to give you an example of one of the most popular MA programs in public policy that we have, which usually is very, very popular with the Asian market, Asian students. The Masters in Public Administration is one of the programs that we deliver jointly with other departments. So it's important to emphasize that we do a lot of interdisciplinary studies. So this is divided again in the autumn and spring term when we do most of our teaching, with core modules which are linked to the main aim of this program, which is to engage students with knowledge linked to theory and practice of public policy. So we start with the theory, which is going to be instrumental for students then writing their final report. So in the first term, you have a combination of a core module and 2 options, which are delivered by politics. And then in the spring term, we deliver core modules across 3 different departments: politics, social policy and social work, and the management school, which gives students a slightly different perspective on public policy, different ways of approaching public policy, new expertise and new knowledge. And I think the interdisciplinary nature of this program is particularly important to emphasize. And at the end of this program, students get to write a policy report, so a more applied piece of work of up to 12,000 words, which benefits from supervision from a supervisor in the department. We have a range of other MA programs, particularly in political theory. We have a very strong department in political theory with a range of academics that are particularly strong and well known in the field in political theory, which is mainly delivered in-house in politics. And then 2 more programs which are delivered jointly with other departments, such as the MA in Applied Human Rights, which is delivered together with the law school and includes, again, more practical work, the practice of field work, for example. and an MA in social research, which is based in the Research Center for Social Sciences. So again, it's delivered jointly across several subdisciplines in social sciences. So if you are interested in any of these programs in a bit more detail, they all include the links for those websites on the screen, and the emails of the program leaders for each of these programs. So don't hesitate to ask about them if you're interested in them. So what I'm going to talk about next is why study at York, why particularly the Department of Politics and these particular programs. Well, because these are multicultural programs, we have a variety of students and staff coming from across the world who deliver these programs. Our students literally come from all over the world. The MAP Mundus program, for example, is designed specifically to attract students from all over the world. And we generally have a mix of home students and international students. I'm going to talk a little bit about the life of international students in a moment. But we also have staff members from across the world, and that is reflected on our teaching on modules. We have a variety of optional modules that reflect our interests in what's happening in the rest of the world. So that will be reflected certainly in what you learn here. Then why study politics at York, particularly in the Department of Politics? Because of the types of skills that you are going to gain. Our whole program is designed to engage you in building your communication, research, and writing skills. That's because we teach through seminars. So we have a range of seminar discussions, debates, the opportunity for you to communicate in English and communicate with your colleagues and learn from each other. We also have lectures for each specific module, so you get to learn from us and we learn from you. And also because our final component is a dissertation or a policy report, you will have the chance to do independent study with the help of a supervisor. And also you will engage in essay writing, because all of our assessments are written essays, generally around 4,000 words, so very long essays that allow you to engage with the topic in more detail, and generally are quite applied, allow you to look at case studies. So all of those will build your communication, research, and writing skills. Also, our programs are interdisciplinary. While the majority are delivered in politics alone, we have a range of programs that are delivered jointly with other departments. And I've given you the example of a few. For example, with the Department of Management, Social Policy and Social Work, we deliver a range of public policy programs. With the Law Department, we deliver the MA in Applied Human Rights. With the Research Center for Social Sciences, we deliver the MA in Social Research. So it's important to emphasize that interdisciplinarity within the broader disciplines of social sciences is the cornerstone of our programs at York. And then if you're interested in why coming to York more broadly as a place to live, not just a place to study, it's good to emphasize that York as a university is a campus-based university with colleges. So you will have a campus-based living within walking distance of the historic city of York. We are also a medium-sized university with around 19,000 students, out of which about 24% of our students are international students. So you will have a very large international community, which is very vibrant. We have loads of clubs and debate clubs and all sorts of events organized within colleges, because we have a college system. The students are coming from over 150 different countries, and with over 40 from Japan. And we are also a member of the elite Russell Group of universities, which means that we have expertise and we are well known for our research excellence, and we do research-led teaching. In terms of the postgraduate entry requirements, if you're interested in applying with us, the main criteria are a 2:1 UK degree. For Japan, that will be 80%, or a GPA of 3.0 to 4.0. We have a near-miss policy for September 2021. And if your entry requirements are borderline, we usually, the program leaders that I talked to you about at the beginning will look at every application individually. We also have a 60, 65 plus for pre-master's entry as a criteria. And in terms of the language criteria, the IELTS requirements have been lowered by 0.5 for the September 2021 entry. Most courses currently require an IELTS 6.0 overall, with no component lower than 5.5. And if you follow the login, you will see that there are other types of language tests that we accept beyond the IELTS. So don't hesitate to ask if that's something that you're interested in. York is very well connected to the rest of the country. By train, it takes less than 2 hours to get to London, about 20 minutes to go to Leeds, just over an hour to Manchester, about 2 hours and 20 minutes to Birmingham, and 2 hours and 30 minutes to Edinburgh to get to Scotland. So we are very well connected also to airports. So we have a nearby airport in Leeds and a nearby airport in Manchester, and of course, airports in London and Edinburgh. So we are very well connected, not just with the rest of the country, but also with other parts of the world. Why study at York? Well, not only that we have a campus-based university and a great range of programs, but also we're located in a very beautiful and historic city. And this particular city is the home of around 20,000 students, but also we receive regularly about 7 million tourists, which are visiting the city all year round. It's also a very safe place to live. It's been named one of the safest universities in England and Wales. It's been named also the best place to live in Britain. It's very green, easy to walk around everywhere. You can walk from the university to the city. It's very, very easy to move around. Also, it's a blend of modern culture and inspiring historical buildings. We have one of the most beautiful cathedrals in Britain. And York is also known as the city of festivals. So we have a range of festivals, particularly for mature students with kids. We have a Roman festival, a Viking festival. It's a very vibrant place to live. So if you're interested in the cultural life of the city, there's plenty to see here. There's loads of shopping, one of the oldest shopping streets in Europe as well. And so I hope that in itself will constitute an element for why you would come to York. Then the countryside surrounding us is very beautiful. We are located within a broader park, the Yorkshire Dales. So I hope that's something that you would be interested in exploring. In terms of rankings for our university, we've reached World Top 100 for social sciences and Top 50 for arts and humanities. We are 16th in the UK, according to the Guardian Good University Guide. We've been rated gold standard for teaching excellence and student outcomes as part of our main assessment, which is the Teaching Excellence Framework. And we are #1 in the Russell Group for academic support and learning outcome for students. As you were saying, we have a college system that supports students. We have academic supervisors within departments. We have program leaders for every program. So you get a range of support from us while you're a student here. And then we're top 10 in the UK for graduate earning potential, 4th safest in England and Wales in terms of low crime levels, and the best place to live in the UK, according to the Sunday Times. Now, if you're interested in studying with us and you would like to apply for scholarships, we do have a range of scholarships that you can access, from the B exceptional scholarships to the Vice Chancellor scholarships, which offer a range of funding. They have different application deadlines, so it's good to have a look at those deadlines and be aware of when you can join. And the conditions linked to those is that you must be eligible to pay full-time international fees and must have a York offer for September 2021 entry for these. So have a look at some of these types of scholarships. These are the tuition fees for the postgraduate taught programs. Specifically for politics, it will be the £18,700 per year, which is the classroom-based teaching. So in politics, we do mainly classroom-based teaching. Some programs have components such as study trips and placements. So those will be done by the students themselves. And then in terms of questions that you have, don't hesitate to ask, and I can talk a little bit more if you're interested about other issues related to being here, such as accommodation and things like that. So any questions are welcome. Thank you.
Gauri,
Yes.
please take a question from YT Live chat box. We have a few questions there. Thank you
for
so
your
much for the wonderful presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we got some questions from YouTube, and one student's asking about the employability after graduating the postgraduate. Do you have any, can you share any knowledge about this?
I think we had some employability data about undergrads. Joe, do you have anything that you would be related to postgraduates?
So
I think my data were on undergraduate level.
Yeah, I think what might be quite useful is maybe if you could just talk a little bit about the kind of careers that your students progress to. So what type of work they do after they've finished their MAs.
A lot of our students, when they finish their MA with us, because I'm the program leader in the public policy and public administration programs, I know a lot more about that. So a lot of our students go straight into civil service as civil servants in their home countries quite often. We have a range of students who are going into voluntary work, so they go and work for NGOs, international NGOs in particular, particularly for students that finished our MPA International Development Program, and also for the Applied Human Rights Program, that is also linked to the fact that we have encouraged students to do placements or to do practical work that involve NGOs, so they do have those contacts before they even leave us. Also, other types of jobs that our graduates go into are research-based think tanks or policy-based kind of institutes. A variety of students who are going back into business, particularly Asian students that want a policy background, but to use it for better understanding trade. So they go back into business business environment. So there are a variety of routes that we see that students would normally take at the end of these programs.
Okay, thank you so much for your answer. So they have quite lots of options for after graduating the postgraduate. And so we got quite a lot of questions from YouTube actually. And the other question is about the entry requirements for the international relationship. This student has a working experience in marketing, and she or maybe he wants to study international relationship at postgraduate, but is this possible to apply? Do you accept a different background?
Yes, we don't have prior requirements. So as I was showing you earlier, our criteria are the same no matter what prior degree you've had. We do not have prerequisites in terms of prior degree. So you can apply even if you had a background in exact sciences, for example. In fact, quite a lot of our students that come to study public policy, for example, would have backgrounds in exact sciences, but they have some work experience before that, and we welcome work experience. So the requirements for entry would be the same, regardless of your prior background. And we welcome people who have work experience with us. As a result, we also accept recommendations if you include recommendations which are professional recommendations, references. This is something that I would certainly emphasize in your letters of intent, that you have work experience. We actually welcome a very diverse body of students, and because we all learn from each other, we are very keen on having students who have significant work experience because they have a lot of experience to share with their colleagues.
Okay, thank you so much for your answer. So yeah, like sounds.
These are the criteria for everyone.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what prior background.
Yeah. Thank you. We also have other questions. For example, about the scholarship, we got quite lots of questions related to scholarship in general, but do you have any particular scholarship you can offer for Japanese students, or of course for any other students as well?
Yeah, I've already covered the qualifications for this are the same as for any entry specifically for our programs. The applications are open from the 11th of January. We have a deadline of the 22nd of March. We have a second round from April until June. So we do have a range of scholarships. Some of them we have also other types of scholarships which are available on our website. So it's worth checking. But these are the ones specifically that we would have at the moment available: the Vice Chancellor scholarships and the exceptional scholarships.
I think the thing to mention about this is that once you have an offer of a place on a course at the University of York, you're then eligible to make a scholarship application. So what we would encourage students to do is to contact us if they want any further advice. So for example, if people would like advice on how to write a good scholarship application, we'd be very happy to do that. What I can do is I can put my contact details in the chat, and then if anybody wants to email me for advice about making a scholarship, then I'd be very happy to hear from people.
Thank you so much. Okay, so maybe students should apply first and they can find their scholarship option after it.
That's right. Yes, you need to have, in order to be eligible to make a scholarship application, you need to have an offer of a place. So for anybody who is maybe thinking about applying for a course in the future, so for example, for 2022, I would imagine we will have a similar level of scholarships available in the future. So that's possible.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, so I think that's what covers the questions. We got other questions as well, but I think it covers on the presentation. And let me check the other. Yeah, it's about the IELTS, RSS. Okay, so seems got all the questions. And thank you for your email address, Mr. Joe, so I can pass
Thank
on
you.
to the yeah after the reply. Okay, so since we didn't get the students from Zoom, but many for YouTube, so I think this is the end of the webinar. Do you have anything you want to mention for the end for maybe students?
We look forward to welcome you at York.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So thank you for watching our York webinar, and please feel free to contact us, maybe from SA UK, or you can contact the university directly. Thank you for today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
So Deepika, I can maybe pass on to you from now.
Yes, thank you so much for your time and the lovely presentation. So we are
Thank you.
ending the, so we are ending the live session here. Thank you so much for joining, everyone.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you so much for today.
Bye.
Bye.